Welcome everyone, this is Valdestot's Voice, and I'm your host Valdestot. Today we're going to be talking about GrubHub in particular, namely their driver care and customer care infrastructure and rules and how they actually help drivers like us. I'm making this video topic because a friend driver of mine in Washington State named Rawg, that's R-A-W-G, talked to me about his experience yesterday. And it's actually happened to me a couple of times, but I never thought about making a video on it. But with his ordeal and experience, it's worth mentioning. And pretty much his story is that he was dual lapping Uber Eats and GrubHub. And from what he told me, it was nighttime, the weather was cold with minor snow and icy conditions, and he's in an area where there's a lot of dangerous roads, switchbacks, curves, going up and down hills and mountains and whatnot. So he was doing an Uber Eats run from what he told me when he got a double stacked order, 2 orders, and pretty much because he was driving on the Uber Eats order, he couldn't really get a really good look at the restaurant location to the customer location because obviously he was on a run driving in those conditions. So he just briefly looked at it and said, oh yeah, the restaurants are close, but he didn't get a good look at where the customer location is. So he accepted the order because it was around a $22 order for both those orders. And here's where the story begins to take a turn. He got a call from level 1 support, which is customer care, and he stated that they called him on one of the orders asking why it was late. And he told them that it was around 10:20 when he got those orders, and it was a late order. And he was annoyed, as I would be. Why are you calling me on this? Shouldn't you have this information anyway on when he got the order? So after the back and forth and driving on these really dangerous conditions with weather conditions, he basically stated that, deal with it. I can't talk to the customer right now, I'm driving. So he let customer care deal with it, with the back and forth. And then he thought it was over. He then got to the restaurant and got the orders for both orders, restaurant or restaurants. And he got another call from customer care asking, well, where's the second diner's food? Because they're really upset. So pretty much, this would annoy any driver of getting continual calls from customer care and being pestered with something that they should already have access to information-wise. When the driver actually accepted the order, where they were when they accepted the order, and the drive time obviously was going to be about 20 minutes. So why are you guys bothering the drivers on this? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I had to deal with it and I contacted driver care on this, okay? Well, before I begin, here are the things that I told Rawg. First off, customer care never does any research on why the order isn't on time. 3 things. Number 1 thing to check is when the order's placed and how many drivers declined it. Customer care should have access to this. Why call a driver when they should have the information? They can just tell the customer when the customer calls. Number 2, when you accepted the order, chances are you accepted it late. If the customer care agent knows this information, they can actually let the customer know the order was accepted late due to weather conditions or drivers not enough drivers out there to accept it at that time. Available drivers. Number 3, common sense should tell you to check on driver volume and location. The problem is, and this is where I was going with earlier, is that level 1 customer care does not have GPS locations on drivers. Only driver care does, which is level 2. So GrubHub's left hand doesn't share information with the right hand. And like I said before, this situation happened to me a while back, and I was madder than heck on why customer care kept pestering me with calls on status, and driver care told me that was the reason, that level 1 support doesn't have access to this information. So something definitely needs to change, because GrubHub Customer Care is pretty much a nuisance. They're just like level 1 support for the customers. Shouldn't they pass that on to driver care to get the full details at that point? But we already know why they won't, because of money. I mean, let's face it, GrubHub's service methodology for customer care and driver care really stinks and needs to be revamped, but they won't, because it's far cheaper to pay for out-of-country support like Indian support or Philippine support or whatever than support from US-based customer care representatives, which actually would be easier to kind of understand and know where you're coming from because we're in the country. Okay, so keep this in mind, and this is to you, GrubHub, that you are losing a lot of business because it's not just you, it's all these corporations that you guys are outsourcing American jobs that are true native English speakers that can help not only the drivers but the customers as well, and won't feel alienated and pissed off of not being able to understand these people or having people empathize with them. So, yeah, this is going to be an ongoing battle with no resolution in sight, because, as I said, driver care specifically told me that level 1 customer care has no access to any real information, which is why they keep calling drivers. So, Rawg, I feel for you, man. I really do. But unfortunately, it isn't gonna change because of money. All right, so I got a ping right now, so I'm gonna let you guys go. So have a great day, all, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.